Hey everyone, MTest here, and today I want to talk about Yae Miko and why I can't currently recommend her. Now, she's not terrible or anything like that. If you build her, she will do a lot of damage, you can throw her in a lot of different teams, she can have a lot of value. But I always say, a Primo Gem is a Primo Gem is a Primo Gem, and if you don't have some of the big Poobas, Kazuha, or maybe like a Hu Tao, a Ganyu, some of these main DPS units, I have a harder time recommending Yae Miko. She's not terrible, but there's things that, really tilt me with her AI, with some of the damage output that she does, and honestly, some of the audio. Yeah, I'll expand on that in a minute, but there's a couple things going on with Yae Miko that I think need to be addressed, or even if they don't get addressed, I just can't tell you to spend all your Primo Gems on a unit like this that, in my eyes, she's fine. She's just very middle of the road, does her job, but doesn't do anything too special. So let's get into it. But first, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Arc Legends, and you can pre-register right now. Arc Legends is a 3D adventure RPG that's going to be available on iOS and Android coming soon. There's a bunch of cool heroes to collect, as well as a ton of strategy when you take on the biggest baddies the world of Arc has ever seen. Build an army from 6 different factions and take on all the challenges that Arc Legends has to offer. You can enjoy turn-based battles with buffs, debuffs, and awesome 3D animations from all the different characters. So what are you waiting for? If you pre-register now, you can get a bunch of awesome rewards. Head over to the Arc Legends website with the link in the comment section or description of this video to get pre-registered and get yourself set up for some epic rewards. The more people that pre-register, the better the in-game rewards, but you also get access to draws where you can win things like AirPods, Amazon gift cards, and more. So what are you waiting for? Click the link down below, and thank you so much, Arc Legends, for sponsoring this video. Alright, let's talk about the good stuff. Yae Miko has a lot of passive damage that she can dish out, and she has quite a few weapons that she can use to good effect. Some of you might have a Widsith hanging around, or even the new weapon from the event you could use if you so choose. If you did use that weapon, the free weapon that you can get, you can even throw her in an emblem set and it will actually work pretty good. Now, I don't have her built in the Thundering Fury set, which is also a great set for her if you want to do some electro damage, get some reactions going. And I honestly feel like maybe one day the electro sets will get power crept, so I didn't want to farm them myself. So I understand that my Yae Miko might be a little bit underwhelming. I could see her being valuable in a Noblesse set, and I've got some really good pieces that I could test her out, and I did test her out, and it did have some nice bursty damage. I think that you can use her as a sustained DPS, you can use her as a support, you can use her as an off-field, and I think she does all those things decently, but I don't think she does any of them to a god-tier extent. And the reason I say that is because if I was to look at Shang Ling and the damage she can do, if I look at someone like Xingqiu, they're 4-star units, I feel like they can do very similar, if not more damage, and have maybe even more value than she does. And so it's like, if I'm choosing a unit, and I'm telling you to invest in someone, she's fine, but she's not this like, oh my god, support. She just isn't. Like, if we're looking at the value of Diona on a team, if you're looking at multiple of these 4-star units, they all bring different things to the table, but like, Yae Miko is not bringing this, oh my god, in my opinion. Now, as for the talents, she's fun. Like, she's pretty fun to play. She can get some, EM scaling, which is kind of cool. Throw it in your kit. If you happen to get some rolls into it, it's not wasted like other Electro characters. That passive damage can be very valuable overall, and like, I like her. She's cool, but she doesn't really feel like a god tier 5-star unit that you should be throwing a bunch of Primo Gems at. Now, I can imagine with Raiden Shogun as a battery, she might work a lot better, but I also feel like her burst cooldown and everything is pretty long, and so I think she has some good sides to her, but there's a few things that are tilting me, and I want to discuss those now. Her AI with the turrets. Now, this can happen with other units in game, but because the mass majority of her kit is turrets, you need the AI to be good. In hilly churro camps, anytime there's a torch nearby, you will lose DPS to them. What I mean by that is these turrets will target torches, fireplaces, cooking stations, shields that have been flying through the air. There's multiple things that it will target in-game, and I find it very frustrating. I understand that some battles, some areas like the Spiral Abyss, you might not run into that. But there's one other thing that you need to consider with that AI and how it can impact your run in the Spiral Abyss. Now, that Sisson Mage down there is one of the worst offenders in the game because they summon all those flies that fly around, and you're going to start targeting them instead of the boss. Now, maybe that doesn't matter. Maybe you say, well, don't use it with Sisson Mages. Here's my issue. Fatui enemies in the Spiral Abyss popping a shield. Instead of being able to burst them down and focus them down, there's a very good chance that damage goes to other units and DPS is wasted. DPS is lost. It is not focus fired on one unit. And so when you could dodge a shield, all of a sudden, you now have to deal with it and waste tons of time. Now, this is an even bigger problem against targets that might have some sort of healing built in. If they ever add a healing mechanic on a floor in the Spiral Abyss, if you can't focus fire an enemy, that is a problem, right? Like a third of my damage, a fourth of my damage is hitting this enemy, and a lot of them are going towards the flies. And, you know, it could be to the point where you can't kill some enemies. If there's the Hydro Samachurl that heals, it could be a problem. And I know this might not be big for some people, but for me, it is. I want to be able to burst down an enemy and trash them right now. Right, at this point, we all know what Yae Miko does. We approximately know what her damage is. I want to talk about a few things that I see, and a few things that frustrate me. Number one, right now. I'm not gonna lie, she is one of the most annoying units in the game so far because of how much she spams her E ability and how much she says the same thing over and over again. I understand you can put it to a different language, but even in a different language, she still spams audio. She still is going, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, here we go. There we go, right there, right there. I can't get over this. I cannot get over this. It started getting so frustrating. I could turn all the voices off if I wanted to, but she is, in my opinion, the most spammy audio in the game. One of the most annoying characters before, Venti. You dash, you go, wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster? And maybe this isn't a big deal for some people, but for me, if I have to... If I have to hear that constantly every single fight, it does start weighing on me. And so that's one thing that I'm going to say right off the hop. If you just want a smoking hot character and you don't really care about the damage, Yae Miko's it. Love her voice actor, except when she's spamming abilities. You know, the playstyle is fun, dashing around overall. I think she's a cool character. Don't cancel me. But I just don't want you spending a bunch of Primo Gems if you're limited on the Primo Gems. I don't want you to think that she's a must-have unit, because I don't think she is at all. She's a middle of the pack, get her if you want her type character, and that's all there is to it. That's the way I view Yae Miko, and you can't change my mind that much. I understand that I could invest further into her, and I will invest further into her. I just don't have the resources just yet. And, you know, at level 90, maybe everything changes. But for right now, you know, I think I have some decent stats for a kind of an early game account. You have to remember, I don't have tons and tons and tons of artifacts. I mean, I got some pretty good ones considering, but I don't have a year worth of artifacts like some people do, a year worth of weapons and different stuff. And so she's going to be an upgrade for my account, and for a new player, I'm sure she is. But Raiden Shogun is coming. Get Raiden Shogun. She's a better Electro unit. She will do way more for your team. It's not even close. It's not even a competition. Please trust me on that. Especially if you're a new player, because you can get a weapon called the Catch, which you can get for free. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.